So just getting into a slow start because we're hoping that we will have a few more people dialing in, and we have Alessio and Edwin here. And then we have Ad Brat, Paul White, Paul Buck, Shabna Mayel, and myself. We are all very busy, or the community rather is extremely busy with us on preparing for the Jakarta EE8 release. So today we wanted just to give a quick update on where we're at and talk about some major events that we're planning and that are related, very much related to and focused on Jakarta EE8 and wrap up the call with that. So we will start with Ad Brad, who is on the West Coast. And yeah, Ed, if you want to take it over, that would be great. I'll stop sharing on my end.
Yeah, great, thank you. All right. I apologize for not turning on the video. It seems to suck the bandwidth out of my poor little laptop. So I don't know, maybe if I was if I got rid of more stuff running. Let's see if I can get this going here. All right. That didn't do what I wanted. All right, well, whatever. Okay. Okay, so I get to give you the project management stuff, which is sort of like, oh my God, more project management. I was thinking about this as I was trying to put this together the last couple of days. So we're on track for delivering all of Jakarta EE8 specifications, just in case anybody has any question about it. We should, I believe we're on track for delivery this quarter. This will include the full text of the platform, full profile and web profile specifications. And then we have abbreviated text, Java docs, and revised API jars for all the rest of the components that go along with Jakarta EE8. That just in itself required a lot of coordination, a lot of community effort, and a lot of work by a lot of people. So I'm salted into this presentation a few names. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm sliding them. These are just a few people that I chose to pick out of the crowds here. If you feel like you did a lot of work and I didn't mention you, I apologize in advance for that. So each specification will consist of its document, an API release, which will be a binary jar, Java docs, and the source code. It'll consist of a TCK and a verification of a compatible implementation. And this is all delivered under the new Jakarta EE8 specification process, sorry, Jakarta EE specification process. In terms of building out all of these technologies, a few names came to mind for people that I think really we wouldn't have been able to accomplish this. I'm not sure I spelled Steve's name right, but anyway, Dimitri, Steve, Ivar, and Jan Shapol, really, they helped pull a lot of things together from various panics that occurred along the way. In terms of the specification process, I think it was touch and go, but we are on track to have those all released this quarter. The ballots for all specifications are currently running. At least that's what I was told. I didn't actually go check it, but I'm trusting that it was represented correctly to me. And if anybody is interested in watching, or sort of observing the balloting, I'm sure it's dull, but you can join this public list, jakarta.ee-spec at eclipse.org. And then I also include the URL for it, and you can subscribe to that list. If anybody posts, their ballots with questions or with comments or whatever. The specifications themselves will become available at the Jakarta EE specifications website. That I wanted to show this, but unfortunately there isn't much there right now except some some templating work. So I think just bookmark that. We can't actually publish them until the ballots are approved. So stay tuned. the last ballot started yesterday, and the ballot period is 2 weeks. So look for a lot of activity as soon as these ballots start completing their ballot duration. Let's see. We'll release Eclipse Glassfish 5.1. Well, actually, we're not going to release it. We will certify that Eclipse Glassfish 5.1 in a full and web profile is qualified as a compatible implementation. And I don't know what that platform. So look at this. I can fix this right here. Maybe I can fix this right here. Compatible implementation platforms, and I think I'm told that there are other implementations in the works. I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, but do watch for announcements. I suspect that there will be, some other products that will jump in as soon as the either just while the ballots are closing or shortly thereafter with their announcements about their projects and products. This couldn't have been done without a lot, the entire community was really sort of focusing on this, right? This is all the specification work, 3 days a week working on the specification committee, extra meetings for project planning. Just my inbox is just destroyed with all this email about, this or that, or these questions or these things that need to be fixed. Thank you to David Blevins, to Scott Stark, Bill Shannon, Arjan, and Kevin Sutter. I think for me, the thing that I'm most proud about this is, these guys did a lot of work, and they're, it's not Oracle on this list. So that was really, our goal was to get the community engaged with this, and right now, that's all looking pretty good. I'm very thankful for all the work that these people have done, and everybody else, and I'm just pulling out some people that I think were particularly vocal or struck me as doing work. This is pretty much the same slide as last month. What's in the TCK bundle, right? It contains a TCK, it contains a bunch of documentation, and it also contains an exclude list. We will publish all of these under the specifications section of the Jakarta EE website, and these will become the normative TCKs for everybody to use moving forward for the duration of, for as long as Jakarta EE 8 lives. New specifications will be coming out, and eventually they will find their way to this specification site. So if you look at the pull requests, I think there's 73 outstanding pull requests. There's 2 for every specification. And that doesn't quite work out right, but I think there's a few extra PRs in here. But that's a lot to keep track of, and hats off to the community for managing to get all these things done, for managing to keep track of all of them, and even finding the ones, oh crap, we forgot about this or we forgot about that. We managed to, I think we've managed to pull it off. I hope I'm not, jumping to a conclusion yet. A couple things about the TCK setup, right? TCKs themselves. Last month, I had a couple of links about how you can actually set up the TCKs. I did want to kind of show you, in case you're actually using TCKs or looking at any of the work that we've done. When you're looking at the TCKs, right? I just brought this up as an example. This is a test runner that runs the standalone TCKs for all of the Eclipse Glassfish 5.1. And what you can see is we basically run a build. That's what this little build checkbox here. And then we parallelize all of these standalone TCKs and run them. Essentially, we allow the Jenkins job manager to run these all in parallel. So one of the things that you might say is, well, okay, great. What do we do? How do I actually figure out what got run? Well, you can select any of these TCK names, and we elected early on in this project not to change any of the names from what they were before, but that'll be something we can do in the next cycle. And you can actually look at the test output. It's not very exciting, but if you're trying to debug something, if you look at the complete log, I'm not going to bore you with that right now. But if you look at the complete log, you can see that you can see where all the tests are that are run. You can't really just sort of say, okay, oh, look, an exception, that must be an error. That's not the way to interpret the test, because a lot of times the tests are testing, did an exception occur, right? You can look at the logs and you can use those to help diagnose problems if you're, you know, if you want to see how that test worked and what was the, you know, what were problems that someone's complaining about. In addition, you know, you can use that same tool and run subsets. So right here's the same test runner running, but we only selected a few tests to run in this particular example. These were some tests that we noticed some oopses in that we had to rerun late in the game. All right, so anyway, these are valuable tools. I put the links in the presentation. The presentation is here in the Jakarta EE August 2019 community update. So you should be able to find, you know, get back to these references if you need them. We couldn't have done this without some assistance from the team here at Oracle. I'll mention Bot. He was the original sort of leader of the team that was moving these all from internal Oracle systems to external systems running at Jenkins. And then most recently, Alwyn Joseph and Anki Jain and a couple other people out of our IDC office have been very instrumental in getting these things done. And thank you to everybody in the community who looked at the tests, who tried to run them, who, you know, struggled with why can't I get this test to work and what is that thing I have to download? To all those people who gave us feedback and helped strengthen the way these work. We're not done with that, right? That we can always do better on all of this. But thank you. All right, so what's next? Right after the ballots close, you'll see a bunch of a small handful of specifications that'll come through. I think it's these four here. Can I select all four of them? These are specifications that are not required for Jakarta EE8, but they will be needed when we start moving off of Java SE8 because they've been deprecated out of Java SE. So you'll see some additional material coming from coming to the specification committee to basically bring these into the Jakarta EE specification process. So Jakarta activation, SOAP with attachments, XML web services, and XML bindings. Let's see. So I was intending to show this with in presentation mode, and I didn't see this stupid blue thing around. But so I apologize for the way it looks. But oh well, there you go. So remember, we didn't re-release Glassfish, right? And that's because we're trying to prove the goal that you can take an existing Java EE8 certified product and recertify it with Jakarta EE8, no changes, and apply for certification under Jakarta EE. We have accomplished this goal with Eclipse Glassfish. We hope to see replication of that result with additional products. But that was a key goal. That's why there's no new Glassfish 5 something, right? We can now start working on new features, right? So there are already some new specifications. I thought I had that up here somewhere. You know, I'm clicking around on things. So if you go and look at the if you go and look at the Jakarta EE specifications, sorry, the EE4J list of all the projects, all the sub projects, you'll see several projects in there that are not part of Jakarta EE8, and those will start to come to fruition, and we'll start bringing those into new versions of Jakarta EE. So start thinking about what it is you want, right? What is it that people in this community are interested in moving, you know, in adding to Jakarta EE? Maybe it's not new specifications. Maybe you want to help. You're just like, oh, I can't believe how complicated it is to do. You know, pick your thing, right? I'd like to simplify that. It's time to start thinking about what those suggestions would be, so that we can start bringing those projects online. So just to sort of wrap up, things that you can watch, right? Of course, you can still subscribe. You can watch all the GitHub, any of the GitHub projects that have technologies you're interested in. Keep track of, if you want to see what's going on in the, the Jakarta EE website development, you can watch any of the projects under Jakarta EE at github.com/Jakarta EE. There's plenty of mailing lists that I suggested you subscribe to last month. I hope people are using that resource. I mentioned the PRs. I already showed you that that list. If you want to watch the ballots, I don't know, maybe that's like watching grass grow, but you can subscribe to this list. It is public, and all the ballot, all the voting is being done in a public open forum. And what can you help us with, right? Okay, you don't have to be a developer, a Java coder, right? We still need help with Jakarta EE websites. I guess I would say probably less than half of the Jakarta EE projects, the GitHub projects actually have an informative website. There's a lot of work to do there to help bring other community members up to speed about what is this project, what is it here, and how does it, how would I use it? Have you, if you have an opportunity to try out any of the tutorials or any of the sample code, please, we need people to help us diagnose those, that work, and maybe figure out how to make it simpler so more people can access Jakarta EE. So file bugs, maybe try fixing something. Submit a PR and see if you can work with the community in that technology and actually help improve the component itself. The good news is now that we're done with we're on the cusp of finishing with Jakarta EE8. It's time to start thinking about what's after that. I think that's all I got, Tanya. If anybody has questions, comments, somebody else they want to appreciate.
Thanks so much, Ed. Yeah, go ahead with questions, comments.
This is Edwin. I have a few questions. It's good to hear that everything is on track for release of Jakarta EE this quarter, but does it still mean that it is going to be complete before Jakarta 1?
That is the goal.
Yeah, but is that the same as this quarter? Did you mean that?
I believe that we are on track to complete before Jakarta 1 the online stream event. That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly. But I was just curious if you meant that. So thanks.
We do mean it. We do mean it. People really worked hard to try to make that deadline.
I know, but
I can't guarantee it, right? Because there's nothing like some P1 problem jumps up, but that is our goal, and we still are on track.
All right. Second question. In the past, there has been talk about Glassfish 5.2 released with the new APIs, but you're now saying that's not going to be necessary?
I didn't say it's not necessary for Jakarta EE8, but we do, that is something that we can deliver, right? We don't need it for EE8. That's the main point I'm trying to make here, right? But that, once we're past the Jakarta EE8, hurdle, we can do a 5.2 with, as long as it passes all the compatibility requirements, we can make new releases.
Okay. Thanks.
That's it. Great. Anybody else?
Okay, thank you very much, Ed.
All right.
So I think on our agenda, the next item is update from Shabnam. So I will, for some marketing activities, so I will ask Shabnam to share her screen and go ahead with that update.
Sure, thanks, Tani. Let me just share my screen. Okay. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
So there are a number of activities that we are going to do on community's behalf to celebrate the release and also recognize the community's effort around this release. So we are going to issue a press release on September 10th that will recognize dedicated community members, vendors, and everyone who has come together to make this happen. So we plan to promote certified Jakarta EE 8 compatible implementations, which we expect to be Glassfish 5.1 and other, maybe other compatible implementations. So watch out for announcements. And we are also working on a page in Jakarta.ee. It's going to be a hub for the community to get all information and updates about everything related to Jakarta EE. So this is a preview, but it's a work in progress. So it will link to specifications, compatible products, and over time, we will add video interviews with the community members. And also, we worked with the leading members of the community to author an ebook, fulfilling the vision for open source cloud native Java that provides community's vision for cloud native Java, the significance of this event in releasing Jakarta EE 8, and also provides community's perspective of the future of cloud native Java collaboration. And also, at this point of time, between Eclipse Foundation ourselves and the community, we are expecting between 10 to 20 blogs that will go out on September 10th and thereafter. And Eclipse Foundation is also going to have a strong presence representing Jakarta EE, Microprofile, and other projects at Code1. We are going to be at booth 3228. We encourage, of course, the community to community members to come and visit us there. And we are also planning to have a cloud native Java community reception at Code1 on September 17th. To mark the celebration of Jakarta EE 8 release and also recognize the community's efforts around microprofile. So we will update you once we have more information about this to share. Right. All right. So yeah, I think that is it. Right. Any questions, comments?
Thanks, Shabnam.
No problem.
Okay, so let me just, on my end, I want to provide update on the Jakarta One live stream, as well as a little bit on EclipseCon Europe, and particularly with regards to community related events. So moving into just a short update on this. Jakarta One live stream is, as I hope everyone knows, is planned for the September 10th. We're still looking for people to register, and registration is open. I'm showing the site here, and it's really easy to register. So please have a look. Right now, I just want to point out that we're close to 500 registered attendees. So that is really exciting and interesting. And want to invite everyone, if you see any particular question here, sorry, any particular session here that you would be interested in, and you have questions with regards to that session, it would be, I would welcome you to, to actually post your questions and ask questions in this section. So, you know, that way we can, the presenters can answer online or during their presentation or after the presentation and so on. So hopefully everyone registered for a Jakarta One live stream. And yeah, we'll see you there. Another extremely important event for us at Eclipse Foundation is EclipseCon Europe. We already shared the information where it is, and we hope that you all registered, booked your accommodations, and mark your calendars. We're actively working on the community-related events, and I just want to quickly show you, and here is the link to the for the Cloud Native community events and the wiki page there. You can see what we're kind of working on and what we would like to happen on that day. So please have a look, provide us suggestions. There is a suggestion section here. You can see who is involved in organizing this event. And if you are interested to attend, please let us know and sign up here at the attendees section of the wiki page. We would love to know how many people would be present there, and we would love to make sure that we're ready for the people to, you know, prepare the room and do all the logistics up front. So that is pretty much everything that I have for the events that we're planning in the near future from the Eclipse Foundation perspective.
Ok, c'est ça alors.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
D'accord. Bon, ben ça marche, pas nickel.
I'm not sure if this is intended for us to hear, but I do hear someone's talking. Is there any question, comment?
Ouais, petit commentaire, ouais. Mode user session, ça marche. Merci en tout cas, ouais, à plus.
No, I don't think so. I don't know who is that. Oh. Okay. So any other comments or questions, or as I was saying in my email, considering that we're really focusing on work related to the Jakarta EE 8 release, we wanted just to provide a quick update and give you a heads up on the progress. If there are no questions, we will close the call at this point, and we will talk to you in the near future. Okay, so thanks so much, everyone, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah,
Bye
thank
for
you
now.
for the update.
Thank you. Okay.
See ya.
See ya.